is there something you can point to in your life, political life or in your life in the last 4 years, that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, you know, if you've ever parented a child, you know, you make lots of mistakes too.
You didn't have kids.
We're about to have a look at Tim Pool breaking down and completely destroying Kamala Harris's failed attempt to connect with Americans last night in her town hall meeting with Anderson Cooper. Not only did she fail to connect to Americans, she also basically failed to answer any questions. This one's a good one, so let's have a look.
My friends, I cannot imagine a scenario where Kamala Harris wins on the arguments, on the merits, based on what we saw last night. Now, of course, we decided not to cover the CNN town hall with Kamala Harris, and I'll tell you why. On Timcast IRL, we decided just to have a conversation about the news, because Kamala Harris says she'll use 100 words to say one thing, and often she'll use 100 words to say nothing at all. So my expectation was, and I was correct, that if we actually started doing a commentary show on the CNN town hall last night, we'd be sitting here watching someone filibuster for an hour and a half, 2 hours, learning nothing, saying nothing, and we get the point. Kamala has no plan. She can't answer questions. She is out of her mind. I have a video to play for you. I have several, actually. And when I play these videos for you, I think you will understand. One video in particular, my friends, is shocking. She's asked by Anderson Cooper on CNN, are there any mistakes you've made that you've learned from? And she just filibusters the whole thing and ends by saying, sometimes your parents make mistakes too. And, you know, I think it's a what? Guess what? It was so bad that CNN's panel even said Kamala Harris has this problem where when she can't answer a question, she just goes to word salad city. She just says things. It's truly remarkable to watch someone. This is what I love about Kamala Harris. OK, I hate it, but I'm being facetious. Is she'll say, like, you'll be like, where do you want to go get food, Kamala? And she'll be like, well, the place that I think is really great to get food because food is important and we always want to eat food. And it is important to eat always. Remember, it's food that we want to eat. I think it's good to go eat at a restaurant. And I think a restaurant is a good place because food is important. And you're just like, lady, what? All you did was say words that in no way had any kind of idea attached to them. She might as well just say flag, oatmeal, rudder, dog. And just I'll tell you what, I would respect Kamala Harris more if all she did was pull up a dictionary and mutter random words. That's basically what she's doing. I got to play these videos for you. And of course, she had to call Donald Trump a fascist in the town hall. She can't describe what that means or explain anything about it. I can tell you this. She does have one plan. And that plan is, I don't like Donald Trump. How that manifests, I honestly have no idea. But when she's asked over and over again, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? How come you supported this? How come you supported that? She goes, Donald Trump. Is that it? Yeah. They got nothing.
And that is the all-time go-to for all these leftist pundits. And it's funny because it's worked its way all the way up to Kamala Harris and the leadership in the Democratic Party. Anytime they don't have an answer to a question, it's orange man bad. And it's pretty sad. And everybody that's paying attention can realize it and recognizes it now. And with 12 days left or less than two weeks left to this election, she should have better answers than Donald Trump is worse than me. I mean, get real, right?
So when the voters go to the voting booth, if this is what motivates them, we are doomed. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't see a legitimate path through the merits for Kamala Harris because she's lost her mind, or I don't know if she's ever had one. However, there's still always the shadow campaign, so nobody really knows what's going to happen. Republicans are convinced Democrats got some shady games afoot, and they probably do, which means everyone has to go vote. We are 12 days out. It's a week and a half. Tomorrow, Trump's going to be on Joe Rogan. I'm going to put my feet up, press play, sit back with some popcorn, and enjoy what will likely be the biggest podcast ever done. Joe's the king of podcasts, man. There's no question. And it's going to be epic. But I want to read a little bit of her responses, but I do have a video. This video is it. This video with Anderson Cooper, where he asks her, did you make any mistakes? My friends, when you hear this, your brain will fall out of your head. You will scream and bash your forehead on the table. I'm kidding, by the way. Many of you will probably just laugh. But I can't stand this stuff. We'll play the video from the CNN town hall, and you're going to go, what?
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life or in your life in the last 4 years, that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too.
She didn't have kids.
To Tim's point there, she doesn't have kids, and so that is a failed attempt from Kamala Harris trying to connect to parents out there. And, because people will hear that and say, oh, yeah, that's true. But the fact is, she is just lying. She's posing. She's perpetrating to get people to vote for her and sympathize with her. And I don't understand what was so funny about it. She had to do the cackle. The cackle is back. There was a little while there where she was able to maintain it, and it kind of went away. And I thought, that's good for her. She needs to make sure that she doesn't do the stupid cackle anymore, I used to compare her to a cackling hen, but, that's an insult to my chickens out back. And, I got a lot more respect for those chickens than to insult them like that. So, it's a witch's cackle, right? We're approaching Halloween. The witch's cackle so we'll call it that. But honestly, I know what that is. That's an awkward laugh. It's what a lot of people do when they're in a situation. They feel awkward and, they don't necessarily know what to say or do. The laugh comes out, and, it's a dead giveaway when people are actually paying attention to it, in my opinion, at least. And it's a dead giveaway when people are paying attention to it that Kamala Harris doesn't want to be here. She's unable, once again, to have an interview with somebody that is favorable to her, giving her multiple opportunities to answer the same question that she's been asked before and failed. The mainstream media, CNN specifically, especially, is going to, well, you answered this wrong last time. You answered it wrong on Fox. You answered it wrong on 60 Minutes, but we're going to ask you again, and maybe this time you'll actually get it right, which she still doesn't. She still hasn't figured out the answer to that question right there, which is completely pathetic in its representation for the fact that she is completely unable to lead this country.
In my role as vice president, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Did you catch that? Okay, not only did she actually did answer the question, she answered it in probably the most honest and incredible way without actually saying anything of substance. But I'm picking up what she's putting down. You know what I'm saying? She said it's a mistake to not be well-versed on the issues when you're asked a question. Anderson is like, did you ever make any mistakes in your campaign, in your personal life that you have learned from? And she's like, well, standing here completely unable to answer this question is probably a mistake. I probably should have prepared more for the question you're about to ask, and boy, do I regret it. From this point forward, I will remember I should always prepare for interviews and debates. Me, oh my, I love when she's like, yeah, anybody who's got a kid, Kamala doesn't have kids. She has adult stepchildren. Anybody who's parented a kid, not you, lady. So here, check it out. In the article, they say, Newsweek says, Anderson Cooper gives Kamala Harris a bruising CNN town hall. Bruising. Look at this. Cooper asked Harris to explain her support for a bipartisan immigration deal that included $650 million in spending on a border wall. Though she previously cited the wall more than 50 times, criticized the wall more than 50 times and labeled the wall stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. She responded, so let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. Okay, this is what I call wasted words. Everybody in sales know what a wasted word is. Remember, she could have just started with, remember Donald Trump said Mexico was going to pay for the wall? Well, that's what she says. So let's talk about Donald Trump and the border wall. Remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it. Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built. Harris also used her CNN appearance to call Trump a fascist, echoing comments from John Kelly. Yeah, you know what, man? I got this really great clip from Ryan James Gerdusky, who's just breaking down like no one cares anymore. Kamala comes out the other day and she's like, Donald Trump is a fascist. She comes out on TV and does a press conference which Donald Trump says he wants generals like Hitler. And I'm like, yo, lady, I don't care. Trump could come out juggling butcher knives and just saying that he could literally say it on TV. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't believe you. It's nonsense. I'm done listening to you psychopaths. But let's take it from CNN. When Harris doesn't want to answer a question, her habit is to go to Word Salad City. This is straight from the David Axelrod, former advisor to Obama on CNN. Even CNN knows that Kamala Harris is nuts.
When she doesn't want to answer a question, her habit is to kind of go to Word Salad City, and she did that on a couple of answers. One was on Israel. Anderson asked a direct question, would you be stronger on Israel than Trump? And there was a 7-minute answer, but none of it related to the question he was asking.
A 7-minute answer. Okay, I got to pause there. David, I'm actually impressed. A 7-minute filibuster? That's not something an amateur could do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've had, Rand Paul has done like 12-hour filibusters or whatever, where he just stands there with his big stack of papers and just reads for hours to obstruct these garbage bills. Rand Paul's great. Maybe it was longer than 12 hours. I don't know. But when CNN says it, oh boy, do we have clips for you. Let's play this clip. What would you do to ensure that no other Palestinian dies due to bombs being funded by U.S. tax dollars? I almost don't want to play it because I feel like I'm wasting your time, but it's probably good that you hear it.
What do you say to voters who are thinking about supporting a third-party candidate or staying on the couch, not voting at all because of this issue?
Listen, I am not going to deny the strong feelings that people have. I don't know that anyone who has seen the images who would not have strong feelings about what,
I don't think I can play this.
much
Is
less
a minute
those
long.
who have relatives who have died and been killed. And I know people and have talked with people. So I appreciate that. But I also do know that for many people who care about this issue, they also care about bringing down the price of groceries.
What?
They also care about our democracy and not having a president of the United States who admires dictators and is a fascist. They also care about the fact that we need...
Ma'am, the question was, as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, what do you say to third-party voters who want to go somewhere else? Well, Donald Trump is a fascist who likes dictators. Lady, okay. Is that all you got? Look at this. We got so...
That is all she has. And it's ironic that she recognizes that Americans are having trouble buying groceries, but she can't connect it to the fact that she's one of the two people that have been in power for the past 4 years. Right? She's going to fix it if she wins, but she can't fix anything now, right? It's just pretty pathetic. Anytime she says that, there's an issue, it's an issue that she was a part of creating, in my opinion. And then she goes on and says that Donald Trump admires dictators, when I believe Joe Biden is the one that's on record saying that he admires Xi Jinping and the way that they're able to basically build a highway as fast as possible or whatever. I could be wrong about who it was that said that, but I'm pretty sure it was Joe Biden. And the funniest part about that is that she says it's about protecting democracy. Meanwhile, she was appointed. Not one person has voted for her. It's completely insane how out of touch or complicit these people are. It's one or the other. They're either so dumb that they're not fit to lead, or they're complicitly evil in deceiving and lying to the people so that they can have power. And that's one thing that the Democrats like to refer to. I remember Hillary Clinton saying it a bunch of times. The Democrats talk about having power, winning power, when the power is in the people. And that's something that Donald Trump understands and respects, and why he wants to leave so many things to the states, because the federal government has gone way too far with power, with control. It's, in my opinion, the federal government is basically there to protect us from foreign and some domestic, threats, essentially, not even really domestic. The states are supposed to be able to govern themselves. And it's not Donald Trump that is a threat to democracy. It's Kamala Harris, the DNC, the mainstream media, the people that can never win an election based on good merit, based on good policies, principles, anything like that, right? And so I think I'll just go ahead and wrap up there. If you're an America First type individual, you're in the right place. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.